Can your vise do this? That's rhetorical. It probably cannot, but with this simple modification, you will be able to do this. Ignore the log for a moment. We'll get to that in just a bit. Let's focus on this for the time being. This little piece of rubber strap, it serves two functions. For one, it locks the handle in any position you want, so when the vise is tight, say something's hanging off to this side and you want the handle out of the way, this strap keeps it up out of the way. But function two is what I just showed you, where while it's in the middle, the handle is balanced, and that allows it to spin out of the way. Makes it much faster to use, and it's also much easier to use if I'm standing right there. So if it didn't perform as well as I'm suggesting, trust me when I say you'll want to do this. In order to make this, just have to find a piece of, this is old rubber roofing, but you might be able to find a substitute, and make a rubber washer that stretches over this center bit. It's as easy as that. Now, the log. This has been wonderful. You can just manhandle your vise and reasonably easily steer it out of the way. So, why? Well, because my work table, the main vise that I usually work with, whenever I grind or cut metal or do anything like that on that vise, it just makes a mess all over my work table. And this I can position out in the middle of the floor. And so, you know, it's really good for containing mess. And also if you're grinding, you're throwing sparks everywhere. With this, I'm just throwing sparks right onto the ground. The reason that I got this really was because I've been doing more metal work, trying to learn how to stick weld. And so, nice feature. But really the whole log thing, which by the way, in case I didn't tell you, it's 36 inches to the top. And this is a piece of cherry that had seasoned by laying around for a year or so, drying out before I brought it in here. Waxed both the ends and did my best to square up the top by methods which would be redundant of me to mention here. So nothing else to say about it except that I've been using it for a couple months now and I love it. I highly recommend you do this if you have the floor space and an additional vise. But I picked this one up on Craigslist, something like 60 bucks, and it came with two little brothers. So if you have the time and space and money and inclination, do it. Modification I'm thinking about making to it is to chainsaw a slice out of the bottom so that I can press my foot on it, just to stabilize it in cases where I'm really racking against it, you know? But we'll see. I'm sure you'll see this from time to time in future videos. Okay, hope you found this. I'll pay no attention to her. Dusty would be a good name for you, wouldn't it? What do you think about that? Dusty. Come.